second. Didn't mean to go live that quick. Didn't get a chance to get myself together. Woo! I go through my ritual and I get myself together. In the name of my ancestors, peace forever and always, and welcome to another edition of what I call the Reality's Temple on Earth Internet Ministry. I am the gatekeeper, the host of this program, known here on the World Wide Web. Wherever you may find me, I'm the mighty one, and your snubbing up 7. I am your soul brother, number 1. Oh man. I am sleepy. I'm tired, but there's something on my mind I want to talk about. And this this thing turned on live way before I was really ready, prepared to talk. But you know, you just have to roll with the punches. Let me see if I can get my thoughts together. There's a brother, contrary to popular belief, that I do so much admire. In fact, if all my videos wasn't taken down, many of my videos, in the background, you would see a picture of the Honorable Marcus Mosiah Garvey. And many persons claim that he is the father of what is called Pan-Africanism. I respect and I honor all those, no matter how little they done. I respect all of those who participate in the struggle. I respect and honor every last one. Marcus Garvey and those of whom we don't even know. All of them. And they walk the walk and try to create something better so that all of us in the future, we could live better. So I must respect, and I'm not going to try to find fault. And I'm not going to try to demean. I'm not going to try to use with malice words against my ancestors, especially one as great as Marcus Garvey. And I could care less. He was a Jamaican. I know what he did, and he came to America, and he did improve and help the so-called Negro in America. That's all my concern is. And when he done that, then he's shown to me that he's a friend and a brother to us, regardless, because he came from some island, and we all are oppressed persons. So if an African person, those on the continent, reach out to your brother for brotherhood and friendship, I'm not going to turn my back. But I want to make very clear, we should never get to the point where we want to beg somebody for their friendship. We want to go all out their way for their friendship. We don't need people like that. There are those in your family. You want your family to be closer. You want to have that feeling of family. But you have those who are in your family who won't even send you a postcard at Christmas. So I'm not going to sit around here all day long and 24 hours worried about whether or not you my brother and my friend, you my cousin or whoever. I'm not going to do those things. If you want brotherhood with me, I want brotherhood with you, and we can work and act like we're a family. If you don't want to do that, then so be it. We don't have to sit around here begging nobody for their love, because clearly that type of love ain't real anyway. So why would you want to try to get that? So it is false. It is false to say that from this rostrum, I am anti-African. I am anti-Native American or anti-anything dark-skinned or anti-anybody who is oppressed like myself. That's false. It's an outright lie. The problem is you want me to be something that I'm not. That I'm not going to do. You get upset because you have an idea of what you want. You don't get everything that you want. Everybody here is different. Everybody here don't like apples. Everybody here don't like bananas. Everybody here don't like even riding in cars. There's a lot, everybody on this planet is different. And you have a group of people that want to try to force everybody to be like them. I don't want to be like you. You live your life the way that you feel you want to live, and I live my life the way I feel. The important thing is respect. Do you respect me? I respect you. There are those many who don't respect nobody. They don't respect differences. They want a slave for their plantation. I'm not going to be your slave. I don't want to be a slave master. If you're looking for a slave or a slave master, well, how you doing there, sunshine? I don't know how this thing works. I can't really see my chat room. Let me see something here. Let me see if I can. Okay. I don't. This. I'm recording from the telephone, so I really don't know exactly how this works. So I can see my chat room. Okay. I guess I have to play with it. On the normal live, you can just see the chat. I have to press this button. It looks like. Okay. Yeah. But yeah. So it's all about mutual respect. We don't have mutual respect for another person. And we don't respect our differences. As long as you have this type of mentality, as long as you have this type of attitude, we are going to remain to be in this hell of a condition. In fact, in the way that we're going right now, you are going to be in this permanently, not temporarily. Right now, it's a temporary situation. Right, but the attitude that we are having, you're going to find yourselves and your children in this situation permanently. Because we're getting to the point of no return. I know that many of you don't believe that, and you live in fantasy world, and you think that time is on your side, and you can just keep screwing around and playing games forever until you get it right. That's not how it works. In nature, if you don't get it right, you end up dead. That's just simple as that. If you don't do it right. So I respect my elders. I respect the ancestors. I respect anybody that helped participate in this fight, because you have millions of us that don't do nothing. Absolutely nothing. So just the fact that you are here, I have to respect you, because there are millions of us who don't do nothing. There are millions of us who are just oblivious to the things that's happening to us living in a racist society. I don't have to like you. So you could be a Pan-Africanist, you could be a black Muslim, you could be a Hebrew, you could be Kemetic, whatever you are in the struggle, I salute all of you. I don't have to agree with you. You don't have to agree with me. I respect you, and I salute you for your effort. Now, if you can do the same for me, we are on our way to something great. But many of you, you're looking for slaves. And that train, I'm not going to get on, okay? Moving on to Marcus Garvey. I don't want to spend a lot of time. In fact, I really don't have a lot of time. But this was on my mind. I want to just get this off my chest, because it sort of grinds my gears, okay? Marcus Garvey, the bottom line, as great as Marcus Garvey and the UNIA was, The bottom line in the reality, brothers and sisters, Marcus Garvey failed. And really, I'm not speaking about Marcus Garvey. I'm really speaking about all our past organizations. As great as the Nation of Islam was, as great as the Black Panthers, as great as Dr. King and the Civil Rights Movement, overall, when you look at it, they all failed. F-A-I-L-E-D. They all failed. If they were successful, overall, we would be in a different position in our lives right now. So the reality is that they failed. Love you, Dr. King. Love you, Malcolm. Love you, Elijah Muhammad. Love you, Marcus Garvey. Love you, all our freedom fighters. But overall, they failed. That's just the reality of it. Now, look. That's not a bad thing. Just because somebody says, oh, you failed. That's not a bad thing. That's not a bad thing. Well, it's a bad thing, but it's not a bad thing. People are trying to get somewhere. And sometimes when it's your turn to take the baton, sometimes you can't make it. Somebody else has to grab it so we can win this race. So now the baton is out in our hands, and we learn from the mistakes that they made. Now, when you look at the failure of all of these organizations, when you look at the failure, one of the most convenient things that we say is that the reason why Marcus Garvey failed was because of COINTELPRO. The reason why they failed was because of the government, the CIA and the FBI. True. And I will not even attempt to argue that point that the FBI, J. Edgar Hoover and the boys, yes, they took measures. And see, you have to understand from the enemy point of view, I got to stop this. So J. Edgar Hoover, they done what they had to do. So they set up COINTELPRO for the 1960s. They also took actions prior to COINTELPRO on Marcus Garvey back during the late 1920s, early 30s, whatever, during that time period. And they also, even in slavery, the slave master and all those who were participating in slavery, they took actions to make sure you stay a slave. That's their job. Your job is to become free. Your job is to counter whatever the slave master or your enemy do. That's your job. But see, this is something that we want to ignore. COINTELPRO, or the actions taken against Marcus Garvey, all of that would not have ever worked if it was not because we did not embrace our own character flaw. According to a documentary that I saw about Marcus Garvey was brilliant. Marcus Garvey was a good speaker and all these type of things. But Marcus Garvey was an arrogant type person. And he refused to see the flaws in himself when these things was brought to him. And that's a problem. That's a problem. Even when you begin to look at the Nation of Islam, the Black Panther Party, yes, the COINTELPRO, yes, the FBI, yes, the CIA. But all the things that the CIA, COINTELPRO, and the government, everything that they done could not work if you did not give them something to work with. And we have bad attitudes. We are arrogant. And in our arrogance, you set yourself up to get the knockout punch. It's just like if you are in a ring fighting and you let your guard down, your opponent knocks your block off, but really it's your fault because you left your head unprotected. So they knock your block off. When you don't recognize and think that you are more than what you are letting your guard down for your enemy so they can come in and knock your block off. So the government, the FBI, CIA, they came in and they knocked the block off Marcus Garvey. They knocked the block off the Nation of Islam and the Black Panther Party. Your infighting, your jealousy, and your envy that's out of control. Your inability to accept another brother and sister when they're different. That lets your guard down. So the enemy comes in and takes advantage of that and knocks your block off. Marcus Garvey was a brilliant spokesman. He was a brilliant organizer, but Marcus Garvey was not a good businessman. And he was doing things, taking things upon himself that he could not handle, and he was putting people in positions within the organization that didn't know what they was doing. On the outside, when you was looking at the UNIA, when they were buying these ships, and the UNIA created this steam line. Beautiful. On the outside, it looked good. But from a business point of view, it began bad to begin with. They bought ragged ships, used ships, and the last one they bought was also used, and it was really, really ragged. It was just good enough basically to float on the water. And they paid a price way over what these boats was worth. Pieces of junk. They bought pieces of junk. Talking about it and looking good? Yeah. Wonderful. We do it for ourselves. We got these ships on the water. But they were raggedy boats. You paid way more than what they was worth. And then the UNIA could not get the cargo that they needed in order to be profitable. There was a lot of problems. There was a lot of problems business-wise. This was not done on purpose. There is no evidence that somebody was out stealing. This was just incompetence. And the government took advantage of it. Your paperwork was not right. So Marcus Garvey had a secretary that pointed out the fact that taxes was not being properly paid and so forth. The government came in because you let down your guard. They came in and destroyed you. And not only was the UNIA destroyed business-wise, but on an ideological, is that a word? on that level, when they deported Marcus Garvey, the whole movement went to nothing. When they put him on a boat and sent him to wherever. Because one man left, your whole organization fell apart. So that connection, that should not have happened either. Just because your leader is assassinated, just because your leader is deported, the people should be in a position they can continue to do what needs to be done. So it's not the government. The government is only taking advantage of your flaw, your weakness. That's the only thing the government. So when you examine and really observe the Black Panther Party, the Nation of Islam, Dr. King, because as you know, the Civil Rights Movement was split when Dr. King decided that he wanted to become more than just a black leader, and he started speaking against the Vietnam War. A lot of the people that was behind Dr. King, they decided to split away. So all these things going on, you want to blame the government, COINTELPRO. That's easy to do. But the bottom line is you. We have a personal problem. We have a personal problem. We are childish. We are immature. We don't look at our situation from all points of view. It's our problem. So you have somebody like Umar Johnson. There's no evidence to suggest that Umar Johnson steal the people's money, that he's a con artist or scam. There's no evidence really for that. The only thing that we know for a fact is that Umar Johnson, this is a fact, even according to Umar Johnson, he has had at least almost $1 million in his hands, and Umar Johnson, out of all these years, has not produced nothing. That's a problem. You cannot blame the government. You cannot blame COINTELPRO. You cannot blame nobody except yourself. The government has nothing to do with what Umar Johnson is doing with these funds. And it could be sheer incompetence. Or, unfortunately, and we don't want to talk about it, maybe he is a scam artist. Maybe he is a thief. We don't know. But right now, we know you are not setting yourself up. Brother Umar is not setting himself up for success. He has his activities, his behaviors, is guiding himself into the same place, Marcus Garvey, the Black Panther Party, the Nation of Islam. The Nation of Islam. When you look at Black Revolution, when you look at this struggle, you have to look at it like a business. One of the worst business moves the Nation of Islam made was when they decided it's a good thing to tell the people that Malcolm X needs to be dead. Bad business move. And even right now, under the Nation of Islam that Minister Farrakhan has created, or anybody that creates a version of Nation of Islam, all of them still suffer from that business move. Because there are many people who love Malcolm X. There's no evidence that Caucasian people or the government was so angry at Malcolm, they wanted him dead. There's no evidence. There was no assassination attempts on Malcolm's life by the government or nothing. Matter of fact, I never even heard that there was an assassination attempt. But black men decided, not Caucasian people, black men decided that this man need to be dead. Bad business move. Bad business move. So we want to blame the CIA and the government and everybody except ourselves. Right now, I'm in a situation trying to bring support to what I call Operation Exodus Mississippi. And I'm interacting with people who have a childish mentality, immature mentality. Grown men, 30, 40 years old, that act like babies. That's not the government's fault. That's not my fault. It's personal fault, and we don't want to work on ourselves. We want to blame everybody. We want to be accepted for the baby, the immature person that we are. We want to be embraced with our faults. But see, your fault is like your hands against your face when you're a boxer. Your faults brings your defense down so that your head can be easily knocked off. Because we don't want to look at ourselves. There's problem with me. I have to accept that. Understand my fault, understand my weakness, let me work on it so I can be strong, so I can keep my hands up so my head don't get blocked off. Do you understand? Crying like a baby and whimpering and blaming somebody, it's not going to change your condition. Just because you come on YouTube hollering and screaming, and the white man gonna do this, and the Caucasian people don't care nothing about your hollering and screaming. They only care about your actions. And they are looking at your weakness so they can bring you down. And you are so caught up in the fantasy that you built for yourself, you're not looking at the fact that your guards are down. Only a person with strong character, only a person that understands I have flaw, only a person that can accept other people's differences that's around you, because all of us